Welcome back. Week 8 of game day. Had a couple of days of wallowing in our sorrows. A little bit sad for our Nouvelle Panthers after the loss to Ithaca last week. Oh well, we've got to deal with it and move along. The Ithaca Yellow Jackets had a great showing for them, falling down 30-7 in the third quarter. They had an epic rally and comeback to finish and win the game. They showed exactly why they are who they are in a top state competitor each year in the state of Michigan. But I think that Nouvelle Catholic Central also showed why they can be one too. Sean Foley scored another touchdown. Parker Kingsbury had some impactful plays. Nouvelle made some noise early on, which fizzled at the end. But those boys did shine, and they did show exactly why they are high caliber players themselves as well. Next, week 8 of game day is here. We talk a lot about the offensive stars, but now it's time to give them the defensive stars, that is. We've had some guys within our organization that have been shining on the defensive side of the ball, really making an impact and making plays. First up is Valentino Solano. He had 15 tackles in week number 7. Total this season, he's got 75 tackles, 10 for loss, 3 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and really impacting every game in every phase for John Glenn. Liam Mudd, one of our young pups for Midland High School. He's had 2 interceptions, 4 forced fumbles, 1 recovered, and 1 that he brought back for a touchdown. 44 tackles, a sack, and he's also added 4 touchdowns on offense. We know that defense wins championships, and this is the time of year where those guys are going to shine the most for their clubs. Shout out to them for doing their thing. All right, so impact factor. Who has been making plays in the Michigan-made family, offensively and defensively, really swaying the tide for their team and making this a successful campaign for their club? Right now, number 1 overall, I'm going with Cam Reynolds, big dog, Swan Valley. So far this season, Cam in 6 games has accounted for 26 receptions, 716 yards receiving, and 7 touchdowns. Defensively, he's got 72 tackles, 6 interceptions, and 6 tackles for loss. On the special team side of the game, he's got 250 return yards plus another touchdown. You look at that in averages over 6 contests, and that's 160 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 1 TFL, and 7 tackles. That is insane, and somebody that coaches around the region need to keep an eye out for. This guy's really doing his thing. We've also got some honorable mentions that are always on the scene and making an impact themselves. Wynn Deagle, Xavier Crazier for the undefeated Mount Pleasant Oilers, Jamison Pelt for Swan Valley, Brad Boyk is the scoring machine, LJ Gallahue we're going to see later of this week, and Parker Kingsbury, who's all over the place, all phases of the game. You know we stay going crazy on the offensive side too. Wynn Deagle. So far this season, he's accounted for 2,000 yards plus passing, 21 touchdowns passing, 2 rushing touchdowns. His completion rate is 139 for 193, only 1 pick. He is the man, the number 1 quarterback right now in our county, and he's going to keep that rolling here through these next couple of weeks. Speaking of LJ and the boys, week 8 of game day, Mount Pleasant versus Midland High. Here we go. Midland High comes into the game with a record of 4-3. Their 3 losses come to Traverse City Central, Traverse City West, and Portage Northern. They've got a playoff berth on the line over the next couple of weeks playing against Mount Pleasant and then Midland Dow. Mount Pleasant comes into the game with a 7-0 record. They're the number 1 team in the SVL, just crowned SVL champions, and you know that they're coming to defend their home turf. They've got a plethora of running backs and a great defense, which is going to bode well for a late playoff push. Mount Pleasant is going to be a formidable foe, but not one that we know that Mount Pleasant or Midland High is not going to shy away from these guys. So let's check out which Michigan-made dogs we have in the fight. For Mount Pleasant, Noel Helm, he's going to be rocking number 80, playing defensive back. He's a rangy wide receiver. He has a lot of tenacity and coverage. He came to us last offseason and was a big play maker. He played with a lot of swagger and really got the team behind him. We also have Isaias McGinnis, Zay, rocking number 6, playing DB and wide receiver. He'll be starting on the defensive side while subbing in on O. He's a splash play wide receiver, has all the springs in the world, super duper athletic, and I know that he's ready to take on this big stage. Drew Arntz will be commanding the ship at middle linebacker for Mount Pleasant, rocking number 21. He's also a rotational fullback and will be part of this committee that helps the Mount Pleasant Oilers try to get this game done. Joining him in the backfield is Prosper Eneherana. He's going to be leading the way, rocking number 22, playing primarily offense. He's scored 6 times already this season. He's primarily a short down threat, and he's going to be continuing to do a little bit more of that. For the Gunslingers, we've got the starting quarterback, Xavier Krazier. He played with us 2 years ago. He's a great athlete. We mentioned him earlier this season. He suffered a couple of injuries that set him back, and he is the toughest kid that we know. He bounced back. He came back with pride. He didn't spend time complaining. He just got back to work. His positivity is infectious across the team, and you can see that's the way that he's leading them right now and why their record is what it is with him leading the ship. The second quarterback behind him is Freddie Makinen, who's also getting some opportunities to play in situations during the game. He'll be rocking number 15. He's a great leader, great energy. He's been a part of our program since he was 14, and somebody that we've loved seeing his growth. Knowing that Mount Pleasant has 2 leaders at the helm that can get it done. We have Xavier Krazier, the go-go gadget arm and legs, make it happen. And we have the lucky lefty and Freddie Mac. They're in great hands with those 2 guys. Also, a special shout out to Tori Gagne. He's a star in his own right. Tori suffered an injury last season during basketball. We know that he's getting back on the mend right now. He came to us as a freshman and was just as elite as all of the great 18U players that we've been covering so far this season, just as a young pup. We know that he's got a great story ahead of him. A great comeback story is on the way, and we're happy for everything that he's done so far this year. We also have Jackson Dern, a graduate. He's a 2024 from Mount Pleasant. He spent his freshman campaign at Saginaw Valley State University. Now he comes back and gives his time in our summer youth football camps. We organize a youth football camp in Mount Pleasant every Father's Day weekend, and he comes to be a part of that along with all of these coaches and players from Mount Pleasant. A special shout out to him and to the Mount Pleasant community for supporting Michigan Made and our family. The Michigan Made family in Midland. This is where our roots are tied. We've got a whole lot of athletes that we've spent a whole lot of time with, and it's a place that's near and dear to our hearts. We're going to start off right with the head of the monster, LJ Gallahue. LJ is a junior. He's the best thing out. He's racked up a few offers this summer and more to come. He's the most humble and hungry on the turf every single night, and probably the most underutilized weapon in the entire region. He's the 100-meter and 200-meter record holder for Midland High School. He's second in the history of the school for the 400-meter dash. So far this season, he's racked up 643 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns. He's also got 362 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns, 1,000 yards from scrimmage total, a kick return touchdown, over 1,200 all-purpose. Oh my goodness. DJ Haynes. We also have another day one. He joined our organization the first year that it started, and he's been rolling ever since. He's got the biggest smile and the kindest heart, and he's also going to go get after it on the gridiron. Evan Kell, Mr. Reliable. He plays a will linebacker position for us in the offseason program. We've seen him grow along with his big brother, Eli Kell, over the years. They're people that put in the time in the offseason behind closed doors when other people don't see it to be able to experience the success that they have in life. And we're proud of those 2 brothers for all that they do. Also on the field for Midland High, we have Elijah Campbell and Tabor Edwards. Tabor, you're going to see him at the quarterback position, gunslinger, number 11. He's going to be using his legs, keeping the ball on the ground, but he's also going to be able to air it out a little bit. You'll see him throwing the ball to some of our guys like LJ and DJ out in space, but also punching it in on the ground using his athleticism of his own. For the JV Dogs, we have Jackson Arnold, Gordy Freed, and Jackson Lewis. Jackson Lewis is a freshman quarterback that moved up this season to get some action with the JV team. Gordy Freed is a young speedster that is an OG of our organization. And then Jackson Arnold is going to be somebody that's rangy, plays scrappy. He gets on the ground and he gets nasty. He's also going up and making crazy catches for the squad. For the freshman squad, we've got some of the best dogs we know. Liam Mudd. We told you a little bit about him and his defensive and offensive prowess so far this season. We've also got Braylon Turner Smith, a jack of all trades. Madden Shepardson, who's going to bring the highest IQ in the room. Owen Preston, who's got the brains and the bronze. And then Patrick McLean, who we've seen as an overall athlete, be able to do it all from quarterback to running back to linebacker to whatever you need. We also have some people that have joined us in our spring off seasons of 7v7 each year in Maddox Weathers, Riley Swafford, Keegan Frizzell, and Mikey DeHaven. Those guys also bring great positive attitudes and energy. They put in the time and the effort, and they follow along the lead of all the other big dogs that have come before them. We also have Evan Biszewski and Grady Arnold, who played in our offseason basketball program. They are ballers on the freshman football team as well, along with Bray, Madden, and Owen. That's all of our Midland High dogs that are going to be taking the field this weekend for the game. But we also have a ton of graduates that have come through that we have a whole lot of love for. Two of the best that we ever known, Jalen Brown, Jason Davenport, have put in the work over the years since they were in 6th grade. We now see them both in college. Jalen at Lead Prep Academy and Jason at Culver Stockton University, both continuing their journey and doing their thing. We also have graduates Noah Wall, who's at Alma playing football, Zach Bushland at SVSU.
Still rocking strong with Jaron Doomler, 2024 grad, wide receiver, helps out each season with our youth flag football leagues. Isaiah Henderson, Wilmington College.
Coulter Mahabir at MIT. Brady Van Ness playing Alma baseball. And Ashton Esterbrook, who gave us one of the best catches that we've ever seen. We've also got Tommy Serafin, Trey Costanza, Noah Graycheck, Eli Kell, who I mentioned, and Max Stocker, a great D lineman now at Northwood University who came through our D-line factory. The Michigan-made family is deep, and the head of the monster for us is going to be Eli Gordon, one of the best to ever do it. I've never seen a player like him before. Currently at Central Michigan University, every single person, every single coach has a story of somebody who made them better, somebody who challenged them, somebody who took them to the next level. And as for me as a coach, Eli Gordon did that to me. He challenged me, he made me better, he wanted to win, he was eager, and he continues that now at the collegiate ranks, moving from SVSU to CMU, now starting in a MAC program, and obviously my favorite school in the country. So I feel really lucky to have been locked in with all these guys for so many years, being able to see them go do what they do, grow up from young pups all the way up to young men, and now we get to watch them take the field, some of them for the last time as seniors, and we can't wait to see what they do. All right, so the stage is set. This matchup is going to be hype. Looking at their common opponents this year, Bay City Western gave Mount Pleasant their toughest game of the season. Into the last 6 minutes, that required a 60-plus yard touchdown run from Xavier Crazier to take the lead and win the game. Bay City Western also gave Midland High the exact same level of competition, and it took a Midland High last-second touchdown in the end zone for them to win the game versus Bay City Western. So, Rivals.com is calling for a 40-14 Mount Pleasant win. I call bluff. I think this is going to be a big game, a ton of familiar faces, friends playing as foes. This is going to play much more like a rivalry game than many seem, and I'm excited for this matchup to see what everybody does. So, let's go. It's game day.